My name is Stephanie Psaki, and I'm the director of the Girl Innovation Research and Learning Center, or Girl Center, at the Population Council. I'm excited to share with you a new resource we've developed in partnership with Echidna Giving that is changing the way we work in the gender and education field. I'll be walking through the site in case you want to follow along. There has been enormous progress in expanding access to school and in achieving gender equality in education globally. But in many places, gender gaps remain and progress in attainment has stagnated, and new barriers are emerging. We still struggle with fundamental questions. Funders want to know how to make the best investments. Researchers and implementers want to know who is doing what, where, and what works and for whom. Policymakers want to know where the problems are greatest and how to fix them. A lack of effective coordination between these groups is hampering progress. So we consulted partners, compiled our research, and ultimately designed the new Evidence for Gender and Education resource, or EGER. EGER is designed to spur coordination and accelerate progress by fostering connections, identifying research needs, curating evidence about what works, and ultimately informing smarter investments. EGER seeks to answer 3 questions. Where are gender and education needs greatest? What is current practice? And what is the evidence of what works best to address those needs? The goal of EGER is to align the greatest needs with the best evidence to guide effective policies and practice in the global gender and education field. This new resource includes data on Sustainable Development Goal indicators to show where the needs are greatest, information on who is doing what and where in global gender and education, focusing on low and middle income countries, and evidence of what works to improve outcomes in gender and education from the most rigorous studies. I'm going to show you some screenshots from EGER, but I encourage you to follow along on your own. This is the landing page. Welcome to EGER. You can find it at egerresource.org. If you scroll down on the landing page, you'll find that EGER is made up of 3 distinct yet interconnected parts: profiles of programs and organizations, data visualizations including maps and tables, and a tool to help translate evidence into practice. Let's start with the building blocks of EGER, the profiles. Users can find details on more than 300 organizations, including donors, implementers, researchers, and advocates, and nearly 550 programs that are currently active in the gender and education space. We are always adding new profiles, so check back often. From the organization profile, a user can get a better sense of each organization's mission and primary functions, areas of work, and current gender and education activities. The green checkmark next to the name means that the profile has been verified by the organization. You can also look through the list of project profiles or search for specific projects. Like the organization profiles, you can find details such as key information like dates and implementers, areas of work, and what approaches the program is adopting to reach its goals. Let's say you'd like to explore what's happening in the gender and education space from a bird's eye view. Head to the Data Visualizations page to explore who's doing what and where through the table and map visualizations. Choose the Table Builder to get a curated list of organizations or programs. If you're more interested in where these activities are happening, then you can use the Map Builder. It allows you to explore a preset map or create your own by filtering programs based on chosen parameters. You can also shade your map based on SDG indicators, for example, levels of primary school completion. Once your map is generated, you can explore the programs and activities taking place in each country or region. Each program on the map is represented using a small marker. You can click on the marker to link back to the program profile. The last element of EGER is perhaps the most important, the Evidence to Practice tool. This tool distills complex evidence into simple-to-use messages on what works in gender and education. You can explore which approaches are most effective to achieve a specific outcome, or you can start with a goal, like improving literacy, and see how best to achieve that goal. Let's say we want to know which approaches work to improve girls' literacy. Select Improve Literacy in the tool and EGER will show a list of common approaches to improving literacy and the level of evidence for each approach. It also reveals where evidence is missing and the level of evidence for girls and boys separately. EGER can offer insights for practitioners, implementers, donors, and advocates. Using the map, donors or policymakers can identify areas of need where programs are not being implemented. On this slide, we can see that even though child marriage rates are much higher in Niger than Ghana, there are more programs addressing child marriage in Ghana than in Niger. Implementers can use EGER to design more effective programs. Here, the Evidence to Practice tool tells us that conditional cash transfer programs, or CCTs, are a promising approach to improving progression from primary to secondary school. But on the map, we see that in sub-Saharan Africa, CCTs are not used in many of the countries with the lowest primary completion rates. And researchers can use EGER to help identify important gaps in evidence. EGER shows that nearly half of the organizations in the database are working on school-related gender-based violence. But while the evidence for how to reduce SRGBV has grown, those evaluations have not looked at the effects on education. This is a major gap in knowledge. Thanks for watching. We look forward to sharing the Gender and Education Roadmap this fall, which will distill some of the most important findings from EGER. Please join us and visit egerresource.org to learn more.